Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the console qualifier leagues. Sorry,
the console qualifier.
It
was a rough Friday night.
Well, for you it was. I'm
Maybe.
perfectly fine. Look at the state of you. You just rolled out of bed right now.
It was like
Look
an
at you.
hour ago.
Look at yeah.
The 2 p.m. wake up, you know. I'm excited though.
So we're going to have Europe, first of all, starting us off on this Saturday. Basically, these teams are competing at the moment to try and get themselves points going on. If they get the points over these next couple of weeks, what they'll end up doing is getting themselves an opportunity to try and advance in to the console league.
Yeah, you can see the graphic on screen. BM Smite versus Team Rival. Reason Gaming. Hey boys, we're back taking on Barrage. Atlas versus CleanUpCrew, and that will be the game we're going to be watching first off. And the Battalion Esports versus Envy.
Yeah, all over the place.
Is that the real Envy?
I doubt it.
I feel like that's not the.
I doubt it because
so
it's
not
Europe, Kevin.
Hey, you never know.
We're in Europe. That's the big difference.
Actually, I'm in America. I'm in Atlanta, actually. So North America. Welcome to our country.
Good job.
I was told that you've stayed here too much. Actually, people were like getting mad at you. You've been converted.
Maybe I have, but I know more about Europe than you will ever know, Kevin. But the good news is we should be ready for picks and bans very, very shortly. We'll get straight into the action. Like we said, it's Atlas versus CleanUpCrew first of all. Some of the names you may recognize from around the scenes. There's some great names on both these teams. My favorite name by far is the mid laner for CleanUpCrew, Kevin.
Who's that?
His name is UK DannyG UK. I wonder where he's from.
Germany?
He is German. Confirmed by Kevin. That's all you know about Europe. CleanUpCrew will be the blue team. Remember, the latest patch has just hit the Xbox as well. So almost up to date to the PC client. They've now got all the added extras. No DRAGEN available for this tournament.
Amaterasu, I believe, is available or banned. Anyways, picks and bans. Kali take it away. Ao Kwong as well. 2 junglers immediately targeted from both rosters. We're going to see Khepri take it away as well, and looks like it's Guardians and junglers as Athena, the last ban.
Obviously, Xbox a little bit different here at the moment. The console version a little bit different to
I think
PC
most
version
of these make sense.
in terms of picks.
Yeah, but most of these make sense. This, I'm a little bit surprised at. Chronos actually first picked, and you know, tales around the world right now is that Chronos is a top 3 mid laner when you're looking at just mages. I don't think I've seen him. He didn't have too much success in the qualifiers for the PC League, but here in Xbox, we'll have to see if he can have a better showing.
Well, Geb definitely one that Team Atlas want to pick up for themselves. Ruler is going to be playing that one more than likely in the support role. Ruler playing for Paradigm previously and was a coach for Justice as well. So he's been around the competitive scene of Smite for quite some time. Finds himself on Team Atlas here, having Geb for his namesake here.
Chiron picked up on the other side, and let's talk a little bit about Geb and why he's so strong, right? Heading into Season 3, we have the Relic system, and we've talked about that enough, but in a sense, the fact that you cannot beat every 90-second now means any cleanse is that much more viable. Same with CC Immune Ultimates, and Geb has both of those. He has risen. He is worthy of a top pick now in the support role.
Do love the very much big aggression coming out from CleanUpCrew here. Chiron and Sobek in that lane, going to look for early dominance. Good poke pressure here. If it's going to be Sol in the Hunter role as well, relatively speaking, it should be even between the two. Sol will have the push a little bit earlier on. However, the death potential from Sobek and Chiron combining with the knockbacks that they both have available to them, the Charge Prey and then the Gallop by Chiron, combining. It is a Gallop.
It is a Gallop.
That's technically what he does.
I know exactly what it is. I agree.
So he's going to Gallop and just knock him back even further.
It's the double knockback. We need old Arachne or Sylvanas, like pull someone all the way from like one tower to the other. Isis picked up for Atlas though. A lot of high pressure coming out from them. Sol very lane dominant. Same with Isis. We mentioned that. Now Geb is the opposite. He's the one who really suffers in the laning phase, and pairing him with 2 mages that are going to allow his lanes to have this early pressure on should help him get into that mid to late game scenario where he shines.
So surprised that CleanUpCrew banned away Odin there in the second ban phase. I mean, the enemy had Isis and Geb there. They could have looked for that for themselves, even for the jungle or the support solo lane if they so chose.
Odin would have been good on both these teams and against both these teams.
It would have definitely been better up against Team Atlas.
For sure.
I feel, I mean, to be fair, Chiron and Sobek do suffer against the ring as well, so they ban that out. But Guan Yu gets through picks and bans, and everybody says Guan Yu very, very strong here.
Especially on Xbox.
The console.
Yeah, especially on console. Just the healing, the cooldown, it's very hard to lock Guan Yu down. He's going to be able to keep your team sustained. On the other side, Serqet and Hades picked up, and you know, we haven't seen too much Serqet in Season 3. She took a couple nerfs. Deathbane had increased cooldown. Base movement speed was lowered by, I think, like 10. Nothing like major, but enough that took her from a top-tier pick, especially in North America, to virtually never being seen.
Enough of, like, not being banned all the time or picked every single game. She still gets some play, however, on the console, a little bit trickier to land those abilities and get them off consistently. It's a big point from CleanUpCrew here for them to actually look at that. Fudge going to be in the jungle for them, and he must be feeling himself if he's going to go for that early on in this tournament.
Naja, the last pick here. We're going to be getting into the game CleanUpCrew versus Team Atlas here now.
And straight into game we go. And we can see Bean here. Going to be playing the Chiron. I'm just going to run through the rosters for you all. So you recognize some of these faces. We're going to see them time and time again here. Guan will be played by Kaajee over in the solo lane here for Team Atlas. Viperz will be the jungler as Nija. DRAGEN in the mid lane as Isis. Ruler, it says Paradigm next to his name. As you can see, he used to be with that roster, playing for Atlas, now in the support role. And Joeeey will be his sidekick over in that duo lane. Across the way, over in CleanUpCrew, we'll see Rawski, 85, playing Hades. I wonder if he is 85. Oh, that was the year he was born.
Probably the year he was born.
Well, that means he's 30 years old.
Hey, man, you can kill it on the console at any age.
Is that what you're trying to say? Console's better with age? UK DannyG, UK in the mid lane, playing Chronos. And then there's Fudge in the jungler Serqet as well. UK DannyG, UK has the best name for me on the Smite.
It's pretty good.
I love it. I really want to
It's like he's sponsored by the UK is what it looks like.
Twice.
Right? He's got
not just once, twice. He's been sponsored there.
Maybe one means the sponsorship,
we'll
maybe
Bean
other means where he's from.
CobbY in the duo lane as well. CobbY playing the Sobek and Bean picking up that Chiron. You can see the starts from both these teams. Pretty much standard, both the left-hand side teams. The duo lane
nothing crazy so far.
Standard start.
Boar's going to be started up here by the duo lane, and in the mid lane, Isis versus Chronos. And Isis is kind of that catch-all god right now, really dominating, controlling. Jungler's going to rotate in here. I don't think we're going to see too much action.
What we will see, though, is a little bit of an experience lead for Fudge there over the enemy jungler Nija, because Viperz was a little bit late to the wave there. Isis obviously clears it a lot quicker, and he didn't soak much of that experience off that wave at all, so there's a little bit of an advantage there for CleanUpCrew. However, Atlas do get those left-hand harpies, and with the right speed down, should even things up for now.
Both of these teams actually have a lot of kill potential. Obviously, I'm going to give it to the Isis Naja if they can land any CC on either of their targets, but I mean, if the Naja steps out of line, Serqet and Chronos swing, right? All four of these gods have very high damaging and base abilities at the start. It's going to be the fire elementals picked up for CleanUpCrew for now, and it doesn't look like either team wants to try and force anything. Right side, though, Guan versus Hades, a matchup very much in Hades' favors, as long as he can continuously silence out that Talon Assault.
Got to keep silencing the Talon Assault so he deletes the wave clear coming out from Fudge there. If you can keep Kaajee there, if you keep that up, it'll be helpful. And there you go, see it used to good effect. At the moment, though, he'll be waiting patiently to try and get some damage on and get some... Oh, went for the depths from below. Just on those 2 minutes, trying to poke onto the Guan there. Didn't find him. Yeah,
the Guan actually going to control this lane, though. I'm a little bit surprised that the Hades isn't, dashing in to clear the wave. He doesn't have... The Guan specifically doesn't have a lot of kill potential. They know where the jungler is on the map. Hades, honestly, I think giving a little bit too much respect to Kaajee. And Kaajee, previously of Reason Gaming, did go to LAN. I mean, he is a notable player in the European console scene, but... You still got to take these advantages when you have them.
Now the early wave clear from Team Atlas is starting to pay effect in the mid lane there. It's going to reach level 5 a little bit quicker now than CleanUpCrew. They will go for the back harpies here, but Isis Nija definitely clearing a lot quicker than a Chronos Serqet will, just because of the positioning in the wave that they've got to do.
Doesn't seem like either team wants to take a fight. Atlas here actually could go for something.
If you landed that side,
Viperz,
yeah, Viperz going to go straight with the ult. Isis is waiting at the bottom now. Circle of Protection gets dropped down as well. Going to look for the explode, but it's not enough damage. The silence was good, but the Spirit Ball was not on point at the same time, and Fudge escapes. 2 ultimates used for the
Isis was just a little bit slow on the draw, right? It was a really nice ultimate coming out of Viperz from the jungle. Takes the Serqet up to the sky, but the Isis, just the abilities weren't there in time. And now actually it looks like Serqet wants to get aggressive here. Could look to ult Viperz. Gonna get stunned out, in a lot of trouble. Has to deathbane away, and it's gonna be a disengage in the middle.
Meanwhile, DannyG UK, there's a bit of a mix-up in communication between CleanUpCrew there. They could have looked for the kill if they wanted to, but already Chronos had used his clear on the wave, so he couldn't look for the stun. Oh, go from the left side, and there's a great ultimate coming out as well, but a good pluck coming out there from Sobek will save him from certain death.
Fantastic play by the Soul. Honestly, lined up Supernova perfectly, but Chiron's charge just a little bit too fast, able to barely escape the edge of the last couple hits there, and walks away with his life for now. And honestly, CobbY as well, hitting a nice pluck onto the Soul, keeping not allowing the Soul to dive too deep.
Really trying to show some aggression on the Geb with the rollout there, just trying to force him away from the wave. Obviously, with Joeeey on that soul, in a good position for getting the early wave clear on as expected, but Chiron should be starting to hit his stride now and be able to clear the wave back just as well. And keep an eye on the Sobek to combine and look for the plucks. Probably onto the Geb more than anything else would be the best one to choose.
For now, though, Geb going to be rotating to the mid camps, helping Isis clear that, as we saw Viperz take to the right side, help Kaajee secure his blue. A missed stun coming out, but Viperz going to take Serqet up to the sky once again. Isis trying to combine perfectly. Cataclysm immune by the relic.
Purification comes into effect there nicely for Fudge, and three ultimates used yet again by Ellis. There's a great pluck coming out from the Sobek, pulls him in, but the Purification was used nicely to get himself away from the danger. Still being poisoned, and CobbY using Lurking in the Waters, looking for the extra poke, with the heal is good from Viperz, and everybody's still standing at 4.5 minutes.
Nice use of Naja's heal there, making sure that he'll stay alive. But I mean, even if he didn't get the heal off, I think he still had enough health. He would have been fine. Left-hand side, though, Barrage going to be trying to 1v1 the soul here. But Joeeey seems
just poking down for now.
Atlas
have a small golden experience lead now, and that generally comes down to the wave clear early on. With that Isis and the Amnesia on the mid lane, they're able to push on a little bit faster. Same with Sol versus Chiron. That's where the golden experience lead has really come from right now.
Ruler going to roll out, but Barrage smells it out. He's going to back off.
Just tagging creeps more than anything else. Ruler showing his presence, showing his mobility around the map, trying to make sure they're very aware of being too far forward and being aggressive here, CleanUpCrew.
What, you know, you talked about the golden experience lead, and what I'm surprised at is this soul lane, right? Kaajee on this Guan has the losing matchup to Roski's Hades, but still getting out-leveled, and the gold is a little bit even now, but just a second ago, Kaajee did have a single level lead, and you can see right there, XP per minute, Kaajee sitting at the top, and that's just something that he shouldn't have.
His decision-making
just needs to be putting a little bit more pressure onto this Guan Yu.
Yeah, for Kaajee, he's just doing a very good job of decision-making on when to go aggressive with his poke and actually use his Tele Assault on the minion wave. You can see he's actually clearing out nicely, just using his charge just to get in there, get to the backside, and force Hades to make a decision on silencing him or clearing the wave.
I don't expect to see too many kills over here. The only really thing that's going to happen is if the Hades really messes up on his dash, and Guan Yu can charge him down with his ultimate. But for now, we're going to have Fudge and DannyG UK splitting up some camps, and it seems both teams are pretty content to farming unless someone steps out of position. It's really been Viper that's been the aggressive one.
I was going to say, Atlas are the ones that have been aggressive. They've used ults multiple times. They've not been punished for it when they've not succeeded on a kill either. So just keep an eye on that.
See it here, though.
Comes out from Viper, immediately Purification. Fudge gets a good poison off. Shield comes out, and there's a terrible ultimate. Unfortunately, just missed time there. Fudge going to respond, though, and throw Viperz into the Dragon's Den. Oh, not really. It's DannyG's den at the moment. Fudge was looking for the kill, but he will escape. Meanwhile, Sobek on the backside, going aggressive on the ice. Is going to force a Purification, but still no deaths.
That was pretty close on both ends there. Honestly, the Naja just blind whiffed her ult. It was a great use to hold it, especially considering the Purification was baited out by onto DannyG, but misses his ult, and then unfortunately Serqet and Chronos just can't seem to lock him down in time, and Viperz just barely escaping out, though.
You can see the golden experience lead between the mid laner and jungler of both sides, both going in favor of Team Atlas right now. Nisha and Isis doing much better work of catching all that experience in gold and keeping the pressure on. So even though they're the ones being more aggressive here, Adanas, they're still the ones that are having a bigger impact in the game so far.
For now here, and you can see the player damage pretty low, no one breaking 2,000 yet. Kaajee was only, I believe, at 92 the last time we took a look at this, but racked up a little bit on this Hades now that Talo Assault's maxed and he can clear the wave a lot easier.
Keep an eye on those Doom mobs as well. I'm just keeping an eye on, there's 3 Doom mobs in the game right now. Sol's got 1, Isis also. And both the mid laners rushing that Doom mob over, going for the boots early. Could be attempted to be punished, but so far no one really has. But Blood comes out. Viperz in a bit of trouble, but instead goes aggressive.
He's trying to look for his ult, but it's down for now. Not going to come up for 20 more seconds. It could be CobbY in a bad spot, but walks out on low health, and you can see the Serqet as well running away as Sol rotates in.
I think that was really good presence from Viperz there to play very safe. He could have gone aggressive looking for the kill on CobbY, but he would have put himself in an awkward spot and potentially would have seen DannyG pick up the kill in response onto him there. So just taking what he got out of that small little engagement. But look at this, Gold Fury attempt from Atlas early. And
you can see, I mean, CleanUpCrew, they recognize that it's going on, but they may not be here in time. Ice Assault, it's not down yet, but it could be used. There it is. One more hit. Who's it going to go to? Atlas
Get the Gold Fury, but at what cost is the question? Viperz is going to go down for first blood over to Fudge, and now the ultimate from Hades is huge, but Guan Yu charging in, trying to beat them down. Stun does not connect. Fudge being chased out on that backside. He will go down to Kaajee as Rawski, after his ultimate, still trying to zone them away and find something back. 2-1 is the scoreline. Gold Fury did go to Atlas, but the kills, well, they went to Team CleanUpCrew.
It's still a lead for Atlas, though. They already had a slight one. They've extended it now to 1,200. The big thing, though, was that Viperz did die for first blood. Left-hand side, though, Soul could be in a little bit of trouble. Disaster.
Oh, no, it's on cooldown. Now she's in trouble, lurking in the water's pop.
She's dead.
They're going to charge in, knock her back. Oh, did they knock her back into safety, though? Nope, she walked back into it, trying to get herself back to tower range, and in the end, it's 3-1.
The Soul might have been able to run into her own jungle. You can see the Isis rotating, but I think Joeeey recognized that he was going to die either way. He gets picked up. CleanUpCrew, you know, we mentioned it, right? Finding the kills and experience is really what matters early game. And while the Hades is down, a couple of the players, they're staying pretty even.
For the time being, it's only 1,200 gold difference, so experience differential between the two teams now. As CleanUpCrew, well, they did exactly what their namesake says they would. They lost their Gold Fury, but they did clean up the team fights afterwards and actually make it almost worthwhile. They didn't work out too negatively in their favor. They just need to watch out for the early game Isis, which is what the issue has been here. Circle of Protection just makes securing objectives so much easier.
And I would like to see Atlas continuously go for these plays on the Gold Fury, especially, like you said, with that Isis. I mean, Circle Protection is one of the strongest objective control ultimates in the game. Actually, I think it is the strongest. There's nothing else that can do as much burst damage to an objective as Circle Protection. Mid lane, though, we have the classic 3v3 meetup, as Geb's going to be rotating in here as well, but no one getting out of position, and it seems to be everything that Viper's doing, right? It's Viper's taking the aggressive stances. When someone's out of position, he'll be the one to look to engage, and he's not afraid if he misses his artillery sash either. That just means he's going to blind ult.
He's still staying into the fights relatively well as well. He has only managed to get 1 assist to his name as well as Diamonds, but his gold at the moment, well, he's fallen behind even though he's got the Gold Fury over the Serqet, who's got himself in a much better position. Fudge continuing to farm up with this.
You can see
Ruler on the back.
Geb actually rotating and going to try and find Chiron. Ruler just off the mark though as charge comes through. Something to note in that dual lane is that Joeeey did die after the Gold Fury and actually lost half his stacks on Doom Orb and didn't have enough gold to finish Boots 3 either. So really far behind the Chiron in this lane now, and I would like to see Barrage, Bean, try and be aggressive and look for some more kills.
Sash misses from Viper, but immediately uses Purification to stop the fling from Sobek. Gets the shield from Ruler too. Missed his ult as well, so Atlas going to play the defensive once more now that ultimate is on cooldown.
And it doesn't seem like either team wants to force anything. Bean's here, though. You could see him lurking on the left side. Harpies. And I think CleanUpCrew, they want to force this. Atlas has no... Actually, no. Bean did walk over a ward. So they do know he's there, and I don't think we'll see Atlas step too far into that tower.
When I look through the compositions, though, as we're getting towards the mid stage of the game, now the rotations start to come out more and more from everybody, including the solo lanes for the last Gold Fury. Keep an eye on the fact that Atlas do not have a Hunter in this game. Not having a Hunter means it's very difficult for them to actually get these towers down after the engagement, unless Neja and Guan Yu can really get in there and deal the damage. Meanwhile, they do have a Chiron on the side of CleanUpCrew.
It's really not even the Chiron. In the mid lane, they have Chronos as well, exactly. A very powerful siege character.
So both of those will be able to combine for siege and damage.
Look at this, though.
The jungle Spirit Ball connects onto Fudge, doesn't panic, and Viper's the one who's in trouble.
He's dead.
Gonna get hit by a Viper himself. The Scorpion Queen comes out, will get credit for the kill, and Fudge up 4-1 now.
Left-hand side, though, I mean, Soul's going to be battling this Serqet in her own jungle, and Serqet, the jump is down, rotation, Spirit Ball connects, Dragon finds that kill, Ruler's going to knock up a couple, but CobbY, I mean, he's going EP's 1 versus 3. He doesn't have the damage for this.
Cataclysm did go off as well, but did not connect from Ruler, and now Sol in an awkward position. The ultimate did not connect, neither did the Spirit Ball, so DannyG can go into the jungle and pick himself up a red buff, stolen away by CleanUpCrew. 4,500 damage here for DannyG.
And outside of that Gold Fury, CleanUpCrew seems to have the control of this game so far. DannyG trying to get aggressive. Nice juke by Isis for now, but another kill on the board for them and a stolen red buff. They are not letting up the pressure. The second they get a kill or a lead, they will look for more.
And to be fair, what CleanUpCrew's done here is weathered the storm of Atlas early game. They did lose the Gold Fury, but they were constantly aggressed on over and over again. DannyG was shopping. You don't want to get caught shopping because then you're going to get sashed, forced to Purification, and use your ultimate. It's going to rewind you back into an awkward spot still, but 2 things on cooldown there. His Purification and his ultimate now.
And Viperz should probably look to take advantage of that. Geb gonna get caught out here. Ruler trying to roll away. Fudge doesn't have taunt available to him, so he'll back off.
Hydration now online there for both the support, Sobek and Geb. So they'll be able to stack it up and be a little bit more defensive now, be a little bit more tankier than they would have been for the first 13 minutes.
Hades gone and finished his breastplate as well. CobbY looking for a pick, but doesn't find it. Just gonna counter ward 4 now.
This worked out pretty well, actually, for CleanUpCrew there. Missed the charge, but get the ward control in that area as well. With the Gulf Fury being up, that key area is quite important for them, and immediately you can see Team Atlas responding by clearing out themselves.
Both teams want to secure this area. They know the vision control is so important, especially with Gold Fury being there. Fudge going to take a lot of poke, but he will win the ward battle, and I think that's all he cares about for now. Left-hand side, Joeeey could be in a bad spot. Nope, not going to be aggressive onto him too much.
Yeah, Joeeey's not too worried there. Left Harpies will go the way of CleanUpCrew once again. You know, I don't think you want to start this as CleanUpCrew. You want to try and bait them in, is what I want to say here.
I mean, it looks like Atlas got caught sleeping. Now they smell something out. Joeey's rotating in.
Teleport comes in from Hades as well. Going to try and put the pressure onto
Viperz.
Forces Purification. Diving in again onto him. A double ultimate connects. Circle of Protection was down, and that's going to help Joeeey trade out CobbY there. But Dragon is also hit by the poison. That's going to spread to Guan, is it? No, it goes on cooldown in time. Shield from Ruler on point as DannyG is in trouble. Actually sanks defensively when he wasn't getting hit. Roski doing his best to juke out. The rollout comes in from Ruler. Kaajee gets credit for the kill.
Ruler pulls Gold Fury, though, and in the back line, I mean, Serqet and Chiron are still rampaging through. Dragon barely escaped with 1 health. The fight's going on. Serqet's going to jump away for now. Tallow Assault. Kaajee trying to chase him down. It's a 2-on-2. Actually, 3-on-2 as Joeey's still waiting around the corner. Kaajee going to be slowed. Deathbane. Fudge trying to get out. He's juking like crazy right now.
Fudge is doing work, trying to survive and juke on the abilities, but all he's really doing is putting himself in an awkward spot. In the end, though, everybody retreats and Fudge lives. Fudge played that well.
He played it
I think
phenomenal.
He could have got out a little bit earlier, but he was waiting for his ambush there, and if Bean could have just picked one target, maybe they could have found a kill.
It just seemed like Atlas wasn't really combining very well. They weren't covering options. They were all trying to get that last hit on the Serqet instead of just spreading out and all trying to hit their abilities or read where she's going to go.
Problem with that, though, if you actually saw what happened there, we did see a teleport come out from the Hades there, with him, Roski, using his teleport to get over here.
Roski's had 2 big ultimates so far.
The difference is, though, Kaajee hasn't used his teleport yet, and that gives the opportunity for Atlas to go for the Gulf Fury attempt once more. If he just heads back to that solo lane, wait for the opportunity for Hades to be in lane, 5v4 over the Gulf Fury with a Circle of Protection available, this could be quite possible, and something that Atlas should be looking to take control of.
I think that's exactly what they're going to do as well, but it's CleanUpCrew being aggressive in the jungle. Viperz, Armillary Sash, there's going to be the Purification coming out from Fudge. And Isis just trying to keep Viperz alive for now. Geb's around the corner, should be fine.
We are hitting that point though where everyone's starting to reach level 12 and above though, so second
here's that
relics
TP.
are now online. There's the TP coming in from Kaajee. Immediately you can see Roski over on that right-hand side making the rotation over here. And unless they force this now, Atlas, they need to know, oh, Hades went back to lane. This is going to be a free Gulf Fury for Atlas unless something crazy happens by CleanUpCrew.
I mean, CobbY's trying to get in there. You could see Bean around the corner as well, but this, I mean, Circle Protection, as long as it's popped right now, it's going to be fine. Atlas secure it. Bean going to be shooting through the team fight, and it looks like, once again, CleanUpCrew want to fight, but there's still a man down on this fight as Hades is split pushing. And now Bean, he's gone too far. The horse going to try and look for the stun. There it is. Just one more hit, and Bean's going to fall.
Bean will fall down there. Meanwhile, Hades stayed over in the right lane. Should be able to find the tower for that one. But CleanUpCrew, what really happened there was it was a 5v4 anyway, but CobbY ended up getting hit by the Circle of Protection when he was going in to try and steal it away with the local in the waters. That took him out of the fight, which meant there was only a Chiron and a Chronos on the front line, which is not what you want to see.
And Serqet was there as well, and honestly, CleanUpCrew, I mean, they lost the Gold Fury, but then they chased into 5 players knowing that the Hades was split pushing. I don't know if they were trying to buy time for him or what it was, but if they had just backed off, they wouldn't have lost those players.
Trying to make it worthwhile, and that's a big problem here for CleanUpCrew is the fact that they're relying on the Hades and the Sobek to be the frontliners. And when you don't have any frontliners because they're too weak or not in the position correctly, then you've only got 3 frontlines who are very, very squishy.
Some big items going to be completed for these players, though. A very late Warlock Sash coming out for Roski. We have Wingblade actually picked up by the Chronos here, just trying to make sure that he doesn't get slowed in. There's a fair amount of slows on Team Atlas. I like this pickup. We got credit for Serqet as well, Malice online. I mean,
why do you feel that's such a late Warlock Sash here? So with that, with the Warlock Sash being picked up there, you can see it's very, very late in the game between the two. I mean, basically you're looking to try and get down by like 12, 13 minutes, correct? With the Warlock Sash?
Probably. If you're going to go Warlock Sash, you want to buy it You want to buy it at the start of the game. It needs to be one of your first items.
Bean is in a world of hurt. Ruler is round the back waiting for him to land too, as well as Joeeey, and Joey's the one that gets credit for the kill. Horsey is down, and there's another Horsey man in the jungle coming round to look for the tier 1 tower.
Look at this. I mean, it seems Atlas really want to force this. They've rotated all 5 members over here, but Roski's actually coming around from the back. CleanUpCrew, if they just wait, they could find a big team fight.
Big focus onto CobbY there, which is delaying them taking down the tier 1 tower. Fudge now on the front line. May look for some poke onto Kaajee, who gets poisoned and forced back. Spirit Ball misses. Minion Wave comes in finally for Atlas, but the reinforcements of CleanUpCrew are here to force them all back.
Nice hold for CleanUpCrew. No one got too aggressive. The Serqet kind of sat in front, waited for one person maybe to stay a little bit too long in tower, but it was very respectful of them. They made sure not to be over-aggressive, which kind of resulted in them losing a couple players after that last gold Fury.
Do you see a Book of Toth as well coming online there for DRAGEN in the mid lane as Isis, so that's going to help out. Blink Cataclysm from Ruler. Horsey is online as CobbY is being the focus for a second, but Hades is doing great work of zoning them out. Tier 1 tower does fall down. Nobody dead yet though.
4-man Pillar of Agony, Soul raining down on top. DannyUK picks up a double kill. Atlas, Joeeey finds a return, and Kaajee is thrown out of this team fight as Beans come back from death.
Beans does come back from death as Joey's fighting off against Danny. Joeeey did a good job of juking around. Might be able to find CobbY here, but the stun's enough by DannyG to secure the kill. He goes on a killing spree as well. Knock up from Ruler's going to give a second for Kaajee to escape, but the big damage dealers for CleanUpCrew on the front line here, trying to poke them down. Still Kaajee trying to juke them around. These autos are missing. Shield comes out from Ruler, who retreats. Maybe they'll just have to give this one up, but no, the double slow will hit, and there's the damage. Bean gets credit for the kill.
Fantastic combination there. The time stop right into the drop from Chiron, and just perfectly timed all of their abilities to connect there. And once again, for me, it's this Hades player. Roski has found 3 phenomenal ultimates, connecting on at least 3 players every time. When he finds the big Pillar of Agonies, CleanUpCrew just win the fight. There were so many people grouped up, they couldn't get out. What I'm surprised at is that CleanUpCrew didn't win that team fight harder than they did.
Oh, look at this. Viper going aggressive, looking for DannyG. There's no support for Danny other than Bean, who charges in to force Viperz away, who only looking for Bean. And now Roski's here, knowing that that ultimate is down for Viperz in the world of hurt. Cataclysm comes out. There's a Pillar of Agony, and Ruler's in trouble too. With Sobek in support, they should be able to find this kill if he can find a block.
Oh, the dash in by Roski, and he finds the kill onto Geb under tower. In the jungle, though, Isis and Fudge, they're battling it out, and I think Fudge has won this for now. But CleanUpCrew, I mean, they're continuing to pressure this tower. Here comes a teleport in by Kaajee, and Isis throws circle protection, expecting to be chased down.
Well, talk about getting chased down. Hey, it's a horse versus a horse. Bean going to use the Sanctuary, but still Kaajee gets credit for the kill. Sanctuary doesn't last long enough for that one. Kaajee turns his attention for Sobek for a minute, realizing he's not going to bring him down alone. 9-11. Let's check him with the experience in gold now.
Even, basically, in both. A 400 gold difference is negligible at this point. Fudge trying to steal away the red buff. Not successful there, but I mean, he's had a quietly good game, finding kind of those squishy characters in the back. He's almost got his Malice online. Just
find a bit too much now, Fudge, though. What's ended up happening is Viperz managed to get himself a bit of a lead. Even though he's 1-5, Viperz, he's got a gold lead with those 2 gold Furies, as well as the experience as well, over the top.
And he's actually building into breastplate, it looks like, wants to max that cooldown reduction. I think he recognizes that his power spike is kind of over, right? He's unless he goes full damage and tries to one-shot anyone, he's not going to be as effective in these team fights. But so having that ultimate on...
Shouldn't he be looking for, like, physical defense against this composition of Chronos and Hades?
I think he just wants the max cooldown, and I think it's the direct matchup in the jungle. I think him and Fudge have been kind of doing a lot of poke wars. Obviously, when the team fight breaks out, he's going to want like a bulwark, but in a sense, that's going to take a lot longer to get online.
Well, DannyG is doing good work in that mid lane at the moment on that Chronos. Level 18. Not the highest level in the game. That goes over to Kaajee in the solo, who's had a pretty fantastic game himself so far. 3-0-7 is DannyG, and starting to reach his full build here.
And he's swinging. He's going to probably look for an Obsidian Shard for this last item. CobbY misses the charge prey, but Atlas elects not to try and take advantage of that mistake there.
Slow down again for a moment, but with the Gold Fury now up once again, we'll probably see Atlas looking for that to keep themselves going in this game. They keep winning the Gold Fury fight and then afterwards overextending or losing kills.
Both teams are overextending, though.
Very true.
Both start winning a team fight and they all dive too deep, but they all dive together, right? And they're all grouped up for these big AoE ultimates like the Cataclysm coming up from Geb or Roski and his Pillar of Agonies. It doesn't seem like either team can really find a big lead or win the the fights clean enough to really take hold of this game, and that's why it's been so back and forth. Mid lane,
Fudge against
just
Kaajee
more
for a
poke.
second, but now with Roski there, immediately disengaged from both teams, but Bean going to come around the back, gets spotted out, doesn't get sashed there unfortunately.
Spirit Ball.
But that connects.
And now Kaajee actually recognizing that dashes in. Roski gonna fear him away, and once again another disengage from both teams. But I mean, right now Kaajee's level 20. He's the biggest player in this game. Got max cooldown, has healing reduction, and it just seems like if Atlas want to do something, they need to use Kaajee. They need to have him bully out these members, and that's what he's been doing so far. And Gold Fury going to be started up once again by Atlas.
CobbY and Fudge on the front line here, looking for a poke. Roski joins them too. Gold Fury gets reset just as Joeeey dropped his ultimate. That could be a mistake, as Pillar of Agony's going to keep Kaajee put in an awkward position. Cavalry charge comes around, swings around the whole team, get as much as he can, but Fudge, meanwhile, on the backside, is going to try and find the kill, and in the end, it goes over in favor of CleanUpCrew, 2-0 so far, and Joeeey fighting with Bean.
And Joeeey going to be able to get out of that one. Viperz falls to Danny in the back line, but CleanUpCrew find a 3-for-0 trade. I'm a little bit surprised, especially considering Roski's ultimate. It didn't find any players directly, but what it did is it split the team fight, and it allowed CleanUpCrew to win smaller 2v1 and 3v1 engagements, and then rotate in to help the rest of their team. So even though Roski didn't find any damage in that team fight, just the presence of Pillar of Agony, that you cannot cross this line, was enough to allow them to win.
That allows CleanUpCrew to take the lead for the first time in this game, realistically, with gold and experience as well, to picking up that Gold Fury. And the big key for me there was Team Atlas. All 5 members were stood fighting the Gold Fury together in a group. Why was no one on zone duty?
And that's what I was saying right before that happened. They really needed Kaajee to kind of be that front liner. He's the biggest in the game, super tanky right now. If he was on that front line, at the very least, the call wouldn't have been as sloppy. And you even mentioned it at the start of the team fight, is that Atlas reset the Gold Fury as Joeeey dropped his ultimate. Yeah. So, I mean, it was clear miscommunication coming out from the team. They weren't exactly sure what they wanted to do. Because of that, not only did they lose the team fight, but they lost the Gold Fury as well.
Definitely something Team Atlas need to adjust on next is the next Gold Fury, because when they're contested, Kaajee, like you said, if he was on zoning duty there, he could have escaped if he got himself in a whole world of trouble with the cavalry charge anyway. Could have baited him away from the Gold Fury and potentially just deleted somebody away from the fight completely. But in the end, it's CleanUpCrew. They get credit for that, and now look at this. Kaajee's in trouble, no tower behind him, and the whole team of CleanUpCrew is heading over here. Reinforcements from Team Atlas are on the way, but will they make it in time?
I mean, Kaajee's going to be fine. CleanUpCrew don't have the burst cavalry charge in place, and through rotation from Atlas, and I don't even think he need to use cavalry charge.
I actually think he could have turned around with that one.
He probably could have, yeah, with his team rotating in. I guess they weren't in the best position, especially considering Viperz was still rotating over from left lane, but it was a potential. Fire Giant, though, being circled around.
Just the M small than
like CleanUpCrew. Hey, if you could find a pick, I mean, it's 26 minutes into the game. These players are starting to hit full build. A couple players on 5 items. The Chronos specifically only has his Vampiric Shroud left to sell.
Keep an eye on Joeeey, though. He's had himself a pretty good game so far. We've not spoken too much about him, apart from the kill credit he's got himself. But that Polynomicon's about to come online relatively soon, and the burst damage from Sol will increase because of that, and basically have almost 2-shot potential.
And he has a lot of power in his build right now. He has penetration boots, he has obsidian shard, and the big one for me is that fully stacked doom orb. He died early, had it reset, but he's climbed back into this game, and I mean, this Sol has a lot of burst potential, especially if you could find a stellar burst.
At the moment with how this game's going, I'm feeling CleanUpCrew have the advantage by the way they're playing the team fights out a little bit better, especially around objectives. So even if they lose the objective, they're trying to capitalize and make something worthwhile. However, Atlas do have a lot of damage themselves, and one bad fight for CleanUpCrew could swing it once again.
And you could see CleanUpCrew here in the left side of the jungle. Just going to be zoning them around, away Kaajee, but honestly, I feel like Kaajee's zoning them away because CleanUpCrew can't pressure onto that tower as 3 players, and they're going to have to back up here as Team Atlas start grouping. And I expect to see kind of this standoff moment for quite some time, except for 2 things, right? Either a Sobek pluck will happen, or Ruler will find an instance where he wants to blink Cataclysm.
There's also the fact CleanUpCrew have a lot of engage realistically under the tower. They could dive pretty heavily. The difference is that Atlas, well, they're very good at defense against towers, but like you said, the baits are being set up. CobbY on the front side.
Kaajee smells it out.
For sure.
So the problem there was CobbY was actually like so anxious to try and like have this bait, but it looks like Bean going to go in.
Bean went in first. What was that? But in the end, it works out well. In the end, Atlas just disengaged. Viperz uses all defensively. Fudge jumps in, looking for a potential pick on someone. Chiron snipes go off, but they don't connect, and he's actually been in a lot of trouble. Kaajee doing work of keeping him busy, and now the cavalry charges here as Joeeey gets credit for Bean.
And you can see Fudge super low, dash in by Hades, but he has no more escape tools, and he's not that tanky at this moment. Viperz, but it's going to be the Spirit Ball that connects and finishes him off here, and now it's just members of CleanUpCrew getting picked off one at a time. Now CobbY being chased by all 5 members of Atlas. At the very least, this is going to be a tier 2 tower for the team.
Well, CobbY's going to fall down here. He's going to try and take him away from the tower as long as he can, but a minion wave's on his way in anyway. Tier 2 tower should fall in the mid lane now. And CleanUpCrew threw that fight themselves.
I mean, being charged in.
I mean, you heard me say it. I was really surprised that he did that.
And then Sobek immediately ults, right? And while he's able to connect onto Isis, I mean, it's just him and Bean under the tower at that point. It was a very awkward engagement. Fudge jumps in as well, and that just seems like CleanUpCrew got way over anxious. I said it just with CobbY. He was waiting around the corner and he's like poking himself out. Instead of waiting for other players to come into his vision range, he extends himself out around the corner, allowing Kaajee to read that the Sobek is literally sitting right there. And then Bean's like, all right, whatever, screw it, dude, I'm going in. And
that was the funniest thing about that, is I was saying CleanUpCrew have a great dive comp, which is what they started to look to do. But Atlas, they have a fantastic defensive comp for dives as well. They've got Kaajee who can heal them all up. Geb with the knockups and the shields and the cataclysm if required. Circle of Protection was still available if they needed it too. And they just turned it around as the all-in dive from CleanUpCrew just went really badly against them.
Fire Giant going to be picked up by Atlas in the meantime. And this game, I mean, 14-12 in kills. Both teams at 61,000 gold. It's still dead even, but that Fire Giant buff is what's going to change the tide for Atlas for now as these players start to finish off their items. And, I mean, look at this. Joeeey, who has the top player in the top player damage in the game, and like you said, he's had a quiet game so far. But I mean, with his Polynomicon finish and with the Fire Giant belt, I mean, he's going to win team fights on his own if he gets left unchecked.
I'm working on Runner to Hootie, just like in the mid lane though. DannyG on that Chronos, who still hasn't died in these engagements. That shows me that he's doing a good job of knowing when to disengage more often than not. Apart from that one mistake in mid where I saw him buying while recalling.
Hey man, he got out of it.
He got out of it, that was the main thing. But now with the Fire Giant, Atlas are going to look to siege and take down some of these towers. Kaajee on the front side, going straight to Bean again. Who is peeling for Bean? Nobody. Chiron's going to peel for himself, and he's going to get shredded. Meanwhile, in the fight, Viper takes one to the sky, going to get the snipes off and pick up the kill as Viper takes out CobbY. Viperz gets credit for the double kill onto Fudge. Roski's trying to do what he can on the front side, but he can't stop this assault from Atlas.
And I mean, Atlas, they have the Guan Yu heals. They're going to be able to re-engage onto this. It's a 4v3 now as 2 players for CleanUpCrew fall, and they're just going to wait for the minion wave. And there's the Blinking by Ruler knock up. There's nowhere for DannyG to go. Going to get stunned out. Sanctuary for now. He actually might be able to get out, but he's grouped up with Bean. Barely escapes with 1 health.
All of them are alive though, but the tier 2 tower falls. Now Joeeey pushes forward, leaving getting Bean out of the fight, and that puts Roski alone against multiple. The CC coming out from Chronos misses, and Roski just trying to juke to save his life, gets the silence off. Eventually Joeeey gets the in-hand off and secures the kill. 15-15, and instead of looking for the Phoenix, they head for the tier 2 in mid.
They're playing it safe, and I can respect that, especially considering Serqet's going to be spawning in a couple seconds. 3 members left to defend, and they lost DRAGEN early in that engagement over on the right-hand tier.
Tower guys, yeah, someone's going to hit it. Good job, Ruler, and the rest of the team. Go straight for the Gold Fury, though. Atlas trying to abuse this Fire Giant.
This is not free. This is not a free Gold Fury. You can see all members of CleanUpCrew outside of Roski all grouped up. They know that this is happening.
I don't think they do. I mean, they do, but it's going to be so late by the time they get here.
They gave it up.
Taking up the jungle instead. Gold Fury goes with Atlas, and let's check in once that falls with the graphs.
So this game, which was about 3,000 gold in favor of CleanUpCrew, has now had a 9,000 gold swing, and it's Atlas in the lead by 6K, and everyone's starting to finish off their builds. That was a fantastic use of Fire Giant there. 3 towers, a couple kills. The one thing, though, that they had trouble with, and you mentioned it earlier in the game, is that they don't have any tower pushers. They don't have a true hunter. They have Soul. And Soul can do damage to towers, but he's not swinging like Chronos is. And you could see, right, that Atlas were able to successfully reset the fights multiple times with Kaajee's heal, but they still didn't have that instantly, I'm going to kill this tower.
Shouldn't be too bad, though, now with this build coming online, though, from Joeeey, because he's got Void Stone anyway. That will help with the tower damage, as well as the Polynomicon will help with killing the tower a little bit quicker. It's not going to be the same sort of speed as a Chiron and Chronos will be able to put out. The big issue for Atlas, though, is that they've got to watch their objectives and make sure they zone correctly at the objectives if they're going to go from again. The next Fire Giant is going to be what's really key. However, they get a free tier 2 tower left here. No defense coming out. The Fire Giant was still online, though, for Atlas, so just abusing the fact they still had it. Good use of the Fire Giant.
And CleanUpCrew just didn't really know what was happening at the time. You saw all 4 members grouped up over on the right-hand side of the map, and then they recognized that Atlas was taking their tier 2. I feel like they probably could have split pushed, especially that mid tier 2 tower for free, uncontested. And I mean, if Atlas had decided to go, or CleanUpCrew, yeah, Atlas had decided to go for their Phoenix, they could have all backed.
And now Atlas, well, they've got the opportunity to have map control for now, and you'll see CleanUpCrew play a little bit more defensively. Problem I see for Atlas is they're engaged. Their only real engages here is either a Nijar Sash into the fight, Geb with the Cataclysm,
It's the Geb.
or Kaajee on the Guan.
That's
Guan
Yu isn't the best hard engage though, because it's very readable and it's a slow startup. It could work, but it's too easy to dodge that. I feel like that ability is used best kind of in the midst of chaos, or when someone uses their escape, right? Then you can chase them down with the horse and they can't do anything to get away from it.
This will show the playstyle that Atlas have and the communication, because what will happen is Geb will have to be a frontliner instead of a backliner like he has been, and instead it's going to be Kaajee on the backline defending his troops to keep his team alive. Can they make that switch in this critical moment of the game? Well, Fire Giant has just spawned is the key, and Atlas, they've not done a very good job of zoning during some of these engagements at the objectives. They have to do it this time, and you can see that Kaajee and Ruler both looking to the same angle here on defense as the Fire Giant is started once more.
So 3v3 here, or 2v3 on the front line here, and it looks like Atlas were just trying to bait it. Roski's in the middle of the team, and it's actually going to be CobbY who goes in, but he misses completely. He's super low on one hit. Oh, the miss from Viperz, and CobbY's actually going to be able to get out of this.
They used 2 ultimates for that, and now Bean's in a bit of an awkward spot here, but Roski's going to try and pull in DRAGEN. DRAGEN actually going to get out nicely, and it's Roski who's in trouble. Uses the lurk in the depths to get away for a second as they still aggress onto Bean, who uses Purification. Is trying to charge away in the horsey. DannyG could go down here. He's 1 hit away, uses Purification. Meanwhile, Viperz goes down to Bean. DannyG using all his relics to stay alive.
Did anyone die there? One player. It was only Bean who fell. That's really surprising. And Atlas having trouble closing out some of these kills, but they will get the Fire Giant pulled.
No one's zoning again. Fire Giant's getting low. CleanUpCrew are here. Fudge is just going to walk into this fight. Now say, what's up,
Viperz is dead.
Goodbye, my sweet friend. He's going to fall down. Poison does not spread, however. Fire Giant still stands. Roski back on full health, and Joeey's in trouble. Going to get a shield from Ruler. But now Atlas have to disengage, and the Fire
CobbY
Giant
kept
is
the
still
Fire
aggroed for now.
He reset it there. Looking for Ruler. Knocked up out of the rollout. Kaajee's here, though, to heal him, and there's Talu Assault swinging on CobbY at this point.
Exact same problem as last time by Atlas. They want to fight. They went back to the Fire Giant. Nobody's zoned again, and they just walked back in.
And they did such a good job at the start of the start of the Fire Giant the first time when they had Kaajee sit there in zone. Ruler was there to help him and back him up, and they kind of baited CleanUpCrew into an awkward spot and picked off a couple members, but.
And now Ruler had to sit around there. You could see that he was trying to keep an eye to see if the Fire Giant was being done or stolen by CleanUpCrew. The advantage they had was spotting Chronos over on that side as well, near the blue buff area. Gave the game away so he could recall back to base. Fire Giant stands 16-16 gold. Anti advantage definitely still in Team Atlas's favor, but they've got to do better control of these Fire Giants if they want to move on to the next round.
I mean, at this point, though, we're getting to the point of the game where their lead isn't going to matter as much. You can see most players level 20 now, outside of the supports and the Serqet, but build-wise, I mean, everyone's almost max build on both sides of this. Just a couple items to finish off, and the Fire Giant going to be aggressed once again. I mean, this is Atlas need to abuse the small lead they have here and now. They can't wait any longer.
Mages are about to start swinging full builds, like you said, for Chronos and for Sol. And you can see even Isis there nearly finished that Soul Reaver by the looks of it off as well. And then the magical damage will go through the roof for all these two teams. Chiron doing a good job for himself. I've seen he's got his ultimate off in some good positions, but he's not been able to pick up a kill just yet.
And look at this, Kaajee was trying to steal away the blue buff by himself, gonna get poked out for now, and it's actually CleanUpCrew now looking to aggress. CobbY's got his eye on a pluck, but doesn't elect to use it there.
And this has been the strength of Atlas, is when they've actually played defensive and let CleanUpCrew come onto him in the 5v5
they
fight,
they have the perfect counter engage comp, or one of the, they have the better counter engage comp, and Atlas have the better engage comp. It just hasn't seemed to work out.
Well, Fire Giant started up, baited really more than anything else to force Atlas in, and the pluck goes off onto Viperz, but Viperz sashes back in response immediately. Fudge goes in, going to get hit by the shockwave and jumps away from the silence. Meanwhile, the Viperz does get Chronos. DannyG's in the sky with a circle of protection waiting, and DannyG will get the kill before, sorry, Viper will get the kill to DannyG before he even lands, and now Roski gets a big pillar.
Double kill coming out for Viperz now, and you can see just the right-hand side of the map. Roski trying to get out. Joeeey chasing him down. One more hit, but look at this. Bean shooting through. Joeeey lives as his immunity goes off just in time, but now Bean's surrounded by two players. One more hit, and it's going to be Joeeey with the double kill, and That was a clean win for Atlas, 4 for 0.
Late game Najjar really paying dividends there for the boys of Team Atlas. Got a really good ultimate off onto Danny. Couldn't get any peel or protection. Didn't even land, to be fair, before he died. So he shows how much damage he managed to see out of Viperz there on that Najjar. Now the second Fire Giant of the game goes the way of Atlas. And they're looking good to move on if they can abuse this opportunity.
No one's spawning for at least 20 more seconds, but the team doesn't seem to want to siege down this Phoenix. It actually just looks like Ruler wanted to siege down. This is miscommunication. You can see these players backing and then canceling their backs, and then backing and then canceling their backs.
Just make a call. That's
Kaajee teleports in, yeah. A little bit awkward, but they still have the Fire Giant. It looks like they want to play safe. Don't bother risking aggressing onto that Phoenix and having CleanUpCrew spawn in.
Fire Giant's going to last a nice length of time for them to be able to come back anyway. They've only got Phoenixes to deal with. What they should probably do here is quickly split up and just push all 3 lanes down a little bit further. It allows them to try and siege one of the Phoenixes, have the minions there in the next Phoenix if they do get to capitalize on that, or even split them up.
And we'll have to see what they look to do for now. They're going to clean out their buffs. Red buff is up for CleanUpCrew. If they can get that away, they really... I mean, the later the game goes, the more powerful red buff is. That's something that you should be looking to prioritize, especially before these big fights here. And it looks like Fudge will be able to secure it.
For anyone who's not sure, red buff more useful to a mage than a Fire Giant buff in terms of damage.
It's a lot.
That's
oh, look at this, though. Kaajee spotted him out, and now Fudge in a little bit of trouble. Nice silence by Roski, but they're going to get cut off by Viperz.
Viperz is the one that gets almost picked, but luckily Ruler was there and gets plucked instead. And so immediately, CleanUpCrew retreat to their Phoenixes. Left one looks like the focus for now as all Team Atlas starting to swing around that way. No other minion waves, though, and the other 2 waves have been pushed down, so they're just going to have to hard siege this one here, and they've got to be careful about the positioning.
And this is where it really comes into problem, them not having any physical that can clear this out. But it looks like CobbY continuing to be aggressive, and it's Viperz actually under Phoenix, going to take a lot of poke, especially from Serqet's ultimate.
Fudge is dead. Or is he? No, he'll get away. Actually, Cataclysm connects, and there is Kaajee to clean it up with the cavalry charge. Big Pillar of Agony on the back from Roski, though, beats DRAGEN down. And now DannyG was given an opportunity to just continue chasing. And it looks like the boys of Atlas with a Fire Giant are starting to get shreked.
And look at this, Kaajee on 1 hit trying to get out. As Joeeey battles out Roski, he will be able to pick that up, and the healing should come through from Kaajee. Blink it by Ruler as well. Oh, CobbY, though, he wants to keep fighting. Curse is activated. Both teams, excuse me, just trying to have a poke war, but I think Atlas are going to win that one.
This is a good fight for CleanUpCrew, though. They just fought a 5-man Fire Giant team, and all Phoenixes are still alive because they've not been able to abuse anything here. The only Phoenix they can even look towards is the left one yet again. But by the time they get there, there's going to be reinforcements for CleanUpCrew with full health and mana to defend once more.
And you can see that being already back up, but Kaajee's ultimate's there, and they're looking for Danny. Danny does get rewind off just in time, and now he's going to switch his attention to Bean, who pops his Purification and holds strong for now. CobbY, though, could find a big pluck
Danny, though, is round the back, and they don't spot him. 3-man stun, execution style. Bean gets credit for a double, and now Ruler's going to run for his life. Charge Parade not going to connect from CobbY, and Ruler will escape, and they shouldn't really chase this. They should just look to push out the waves and take a tower.
CobbY wants it, though. He's the only one who wants it, actually.
There's no point in continuing to chase this.
Like, the rest of his team is in mid lane. All right, he's gonna swing it around.
I mean, unless he's trying to stop him from backing so they
Which
can
is
push
fair
him.
point.
It's fair, but it's not going to be enough as Najjar and Isis already respawned now. Back to defense, CleanUpCrew, barreling down mid lane. Viper's going to walk into foot.
Oh, he missed.
Yeah,
he completely missed, and he's all but dead at this point. Spirit Ball's not going to be able to save him. Bean's going to use his ultimate as well. Trying to chase down Isis, and this tier 2 tower, it's going to fall.
They will find a tier 2 tower there. Continue pressuring, looking towards Ruler. Ruler going to get hit by the poison. Plugged into an awkward position, but miscommunication from CleanUpCrew means that Bean's in a world of hurt. Great sanctuary from them, and Ruler actually picks up DannyG because they overstay their welcome. CleanUpCrew, miscommunications cost them lives.
I mean, both teams just back and forth with, over-aggression. Roski actually got to teleport into this mid lane here as Isis and
I mean, the team's already retreating by the time he gets there, so teleport not used effectively, unfortunately. Gold, not really going to be a big difference here. Experience is going to matter, I guess, a little bit if not everybody's level 20 just yet, especially for 42 minutes in the game. Not seen everyone level 20. Bit of a surprise, but CleanUpCrew have been on the, the defense for most of this now.
Oh, man. Fire Giant going to be spawning here in about another minute. Both teams probably going to look to secure that one. I think there's no one left on Atlas who has Fire Giant, right? Has it? Okay,
Oh,
the time's run out. It's spawning in less than a minute now.
Less than a minute till it spawns again. Now we'll just see the fight once more. Atlas needs to get better control of it like they have been having issues with so far. And to be fair, CleanUpCrew did a very, very good defense. I love what DannyG did at the left-hand Phoenix, though, when it was 3v3.
Coming around the back.
Rewound, back to the mid lane. They took him out of the fight, and he didn't realize he was going to come in from the back and help them clean it up.
Oh, man. So far, I mean, DannyG's been playing phenomenal, and these mages having a big impact. Honestly, it's not so much the ISIS. It's really Joeeey and Danny who've had great
onto
games.
Fudge, and now he's going to get poked, forced to dash away with the Deathbane. Fire Giant control in Atlas's favor here. Viper going to get a good sash off onto Bean and that ring toss as well as the crit.
Kaajee
really caused some issues, but
going
a
in,
little
but
bit
he
too
was
preemptive with the ultimate.
He was alone, and he's going to switch his attention to CobbY. But look at this in the back line. Fudge trying to lock down Viperz. Nice Sanctuary, going to keep him alive for now. And now it's Viperz in the bad spot. Joeeey finishes off Fudge. Pillar of Agony locks down 3. But there's no one else to help him out.
Roski did a great job with that ultimate to keep him up in, but like you said, nobody was there. Going to heal off the minions a little bit. Joeeey giving chase, not going to find the damage though. Danny in mid lane going to be rolled on by Ruler here, trying to deal some damage back. Gets knocked up. No backup from the team yet. Cataclysm gets used, but still no panic yet. Ruler knocked to below half health. Spirit Ball goes out, hits onto CobbY. He won't be a real focused target. Sash comes out from Viper, doesn't connect. Atlas barrel down mid line for now, or will they turn their attention back to the Fire Giant?
There's one player dead on CleanUpCrew, and it looks like they're going to switch over to Fire Giant. They want to take the safer option, questionably.
Exactly.
I mean, CleanUpCrew are going to be able to walk in here, and you can see the Guan heals being very effective, keeping Ruler and Viperz healthy for now. And now CleanUpCrew, they're coming out of the jungle. They're going to be able to defend this.
On zone duty is Viper. You can see him waiting in the wings. Kaajee's there too. They're all looking at it. They're actually trying to force them into this, not looking for the actual Fire Giant. They've reset the Fire Giant now, and that's just buying CleanUpCrew a little bit more time for Fudge to get himself back online. Fire Giant pulled again though, and CleanUpCrew well aware of its HP.
Ruler has Blink if he wants to look for the Blink Cataclysm, and I think that's what he's doing for now.
Sash.
He's zoning for now. CobbY.
CobbY takes some poke, but Roski over the wall, forcing Viperz back. He beats quite a lot of poke there, as did Roski. Fire Giant only at half. Snipes coming through the wall there from Beam. Not enough damage to find a kill. Shield onto Viperz from Ruler, and that's going to allow Viperz to survive, but not long enough as CobbY gets credit for the kill. And there's the cavalry charge from Kaajee to secure Roski, but maybe CobbY can pick up Kaajee now.
Oh, Kaajee one hit, and he's going to heal up. He got the Geb shield as well, and now it's CobbY in a bad spot. Bean low as well. Fudge, he's going to be forced up. There's the rewind from DannyG, and it looks like he wants to fight. Time stop just off the mark.
Well, Spirit Ball is
Big
on
burst.
the mark, and that's going to force DannyG away. Blink from Ruler gets the knock up, but he can't continue the chase. CobbY peels well for his mid laner, but Atlas, it is
Kaajee.
not the way to kill time. I agree, Chronos.
Kaajee teleports in. DannyG somehow able to juke out for now, and now Atlas turn their attention to CobbY, who's being chased down. But honestly, I mean, CleanUpCrew, the last couple members alive, bought so much time for the rest of their team to go heal up and come back in.
I'm excited for the console league now just by watching this very first game of the qualifiers, because this is really backwards and forwards between the two already.
This is pretty even. Both teams seemed a little bit off early on. A lot of missed abilities, but I mean, coming into late game, both teams seem to know how to play the team fights here. And Fire Giant, once again, I mean, this is just kind of the tell-all of this match. For the past 15 minutes, they've been fighting over it.
And the real option I can actually see for CleanUpCrew potentially here is maybe look at sending Hades, Roski over to the left-hand side to push a little bit. Try and open the map up some.
But I mean, both of the soul laners could do that.
They could, and then I don't know.
This late into the game, like, being late by just a second can change the presence of a team fight.
And there's so many players that are actually sending out to me here. Roski's done very, very well with his ultimates. He knows how to play Hades pretty effectively.
I don't think his 2-7-14 scoreline really is telling of how much of an impact he's had. I mean, CleanUpCrew would not even be this late into the game if the first 3 big team fights he did not hit 4 members in his ultimate. And they were phenomenal. And he seems to be... He doesn't engage with it. He waits. He waits for the chaos and then uses Pillar of Agony perfectly.
Talk about chaos there. Viperz took a lot of poke. Even going to get stunned over the wall. Fudge going in for the kill. And with the shield down, Fudge will get the kill. Great communication from CleanUpCrew and ability usage. But Spirit Ball on Bean! Half your health, Sunshine! Almost deleted. Roski on the front now with CobbY looking for a pick if they can find it. They're actually looking here for the pick onto Sol, who uses Sanctuary, and Fudge is there with the ultimate. Throws him into an awkward spot. Joeeey going to get his ultimate off, but will he still go down? Yes is the answer, and the poison spread to Geb.
Bean's coming back here. Barrage or Kaajee and Ruler low, and actually Bean going aggressive. There's the dash in by CobbY, gonna miss. Coming around the corner though is DRAGEN. He is respawned. And now 5 members stronger. CleanUpCrew sieging this tier 2.
No minions with them though, so they've got no backdoor potentials to help. Now Spirit Ball gonna hurt, but this tier 2 tower will eventually fall. CobbY tanking it as long as he can. And talking about CobbY, the biggest thing about CobbY that I've seen so far, he's missed a lot of charge praise. And if he would have found some of these, this game could have been a lot better for CleanUpCrew.
He hasn't been connecting, but that's the same tell with Viper. There's a lot of ultimates that he's been whiffing, it seems. And that's honestly more important than a charge prey. Charge prey as a support means you can...
He was waiting for his team to come around the back. They eventually turn up and get credit for being in the end. They were looking potentially for Fudge in the initial part, but the reinforcements for both teams turned up. And now Roski's in a bit of trouble here. Going to be chased down a little bit by Ruler, but immediately disengaged. Fire Giant still stands at 48 minutes in the game.
And no Phoenixes have been taken. Only one tower left on the board. I mean, neither of these teams can seem to win a team fight cleanly. We were at 15 to 15 kills. I believe 20 to 30 minutes in, and now we're 24 to 26 kills.
When the first Fire Giant
it's just been back and forth.
It was 15 to 15.
Back and forth. Gold and experience doesn't matter at this point. Everyone's level 20.
The only big difference between the gold now is the fact that when the big power, the elixirs come online.
That's true.
If those three,
and honestly, if players are going to be selling their Doom Orb for Spear of Desolation, we actually saw Joeeey last item Spear of Desolation instead of selling his Doom Orb.
He took out his Void Stone actually.
Oh, that's surprising.
He sold his Void Stone for the Spear of Desolation. It does give penetration still.
But to be fair, there's not a lot of members who have stacked defense. There's only Roski and CobbY.
CobbY gonna miss a charge prey and get poked again, forced to lurking in the waters. That's a small win for Team Atlas now as CobbY retreats back to his team. Fire Giant still standing. Wall coverage is in Atlas's favor once again. And Atlas is just having trouble trying to force the Fire Giant down is the big thing here.
Ruler's actually picked up a Magi's Blessing here. Oh, right-hand side. Someone's been taken to the sky.
Yeah, it's Fudge, and he's in a bit of a trouble here. He needs some support from his team at some point if he's going to get out of this one. Still standing, going to dash away, and Roski is now with 4 members. Fudge going to get out of the fight, but Roski going to get poked even more. CobbY's there to reinforce and support where he can with the tail whip. Charges that minion. Get out of my way, it says, as Ruler trying to zone away Bean and DannyG for the time being. Chases on from Atlas, though.
Oh, Bean actually used his ultimate. Thinking that Atlas were going to chase a little bit further, just trying to get them away.
Ultimate usage in that fight, you can see actually CobbY and Bean both used theirs. Nobody actually used theirs on the side of Team Atlas. Actually, was it Cataclysm was down? I think Cataclysm down there for Ruler. As teleport comes in from Roski again to reinforce Fudge on the front side. Juking on the abilities. Roski goes in. Good little bit of poke there onto DRAGEN, but the shield is now down. Gives Fudge an opportunity, but immediately reinforcements turn to get Fudge away. Fire Giant's been pulled here to help in this fight.
And now look at him swinging away. It's going to be Viperz picking up Fudge for now. Kaajee trying to stay alive, and DannyG just throwing so much over the wall. Speaking over the wall, Ruler going to find a 2-man Cataclysm, but no one to help support because CobbY was diving his back line.
We're keeping them all back. Ruler's isolated. DannyG looking to get kills as Roski comes in, turns his attention towards Viper, who gets silenced, but a good heal onto him helps him out. As Kaajee then gets attention turned to him. DannyG credit for the kill. Ruler's very low. Rewind coming out from DannyG to re-heal him back up as Bean picks up the in-hand to pick up Viperz, and 2 members of Atlas against the world, and CobbY's just going to zone them away. It looks like we're going to see actually CleanUpCrew go for mid lane instead of looking for the Fire Giant.
It looks like they want to take the free uncontested Phoenixes. I like this. I mean,
well,
Fire Giant's important, but I mean, this is 2 free Phoenixes, and then you could do the Fire Giant based on your positioning. I mean, Ruler is not going to be able to defend this. I mean, unless Joeeey can have some big stellar burst.
Good body blocking Ruler, trying to keep him up, but he can't keep Bean off at the same time, so Bean gets credit for the Phoenix. Now Ruler's in trouble, going to get silenced out. Charge Prey actually hits on to Joeeey. Joey's in a world of hurt. He'll fall down to Bean. Ruler will survive. Are they looking for the
this is a free right-hand side Phoenix. They just need to group up and go for it, and Bean finally recognizes that. And that's going to be Fire Giant after this. Should be uncontested. The members of Atlas they're going to be a while before they spawn, but they actually elect to bat. No, it's just miscommunication once again.
I mean, they can't back because Ruler and the minions are going to stop them anyway. Isis is spawning in 1 second, now alive, so DRAGEN will be back with Ruler, and DRAGEN definitely has the potential to steal this, if not kill a couple of members, if he can get the right abilities off. So CleanUpCrew,
at this point, they can't do Fire Giant.
We see a full reset. Again, they get 2 Phoenixes though, so they've got the opportunity now, CleanUpCrew, to start taking this game away.
And Joeeey, 49,000 damage right now, just has done so much, and all these hard carries this late into the game, right? The top 4. Oh man, the back and forth. But at this point, you know, look at Hades. What time did he buy his Warlock Sash? Still not stacked up.
He bought it at 17 minutes, I think he said. It was about 17 minutes.
He has not. I mean, it's just been constant team fighting. Bean here going to be pulling the Fire Giant, going to get knocked up by it. And it's actually Fudge on zone duty, and Isis is walking in alone.
Isis walking in alone, going to meet Fudge, and Fudge is going to absolutely delete him. No, the shield will keep Dragon alive, but the ticks are still raining. Is the shield still alive? Fire Giant goes the way of CleanUpCrew, and now Viperz goes in on Roski looking for the pick, but Purification comes out, and there's a great big ultimate from Pillar of Agony coming out, and Bean actually going to pick up Viperz. Ruler is in trouble. Ruler will fall.
And this is just a matter of time. There's no way. Oh!
That awesome Shield of Destiny comes to the rescue for Ruler. He will survive a little bit longer, but he's still too little too late.
I mean, this is just a matter of time, and Ruler, there's no way Ruler's going to be able to juke for this long. At the very least, though, he is wasting a lot of time. But it's going to be Fudge who finally finds that kill, and 3 members dead on the side
Feeling
of
himself,
Atlas.
though. 1v1 scenario, late game, Sanctuary popped by Bean, waiting for his reinforcements to turn up, pops his ultimate. The ultimate in response from Joeeey doesn't do enough. Bean's still alive here, he's not dead. Will get away as now CleanUpCrew barrel down mid lane, looking potentially for left, but we're finding them pouring in. They
it looks like they're trying to end. 54 minutes of the game. I mean, there's 3 members still dead. They could definitely do this.
Only Kaajee and Joeeey alive right now. Good defenses. Cavalry charge comes out. Going to stun all 3 of them. Joeeey gets focused by Fudge, but Fudge versus Joeeey is a very close match. Not close enough as Joeeey falls down to Fudge. The Titan finally falls, and CleanUpCrew move themselves on to the semi-finals.
It was a long one. 54
That's
minutes.
crazy.
A lot of back and forth. I think the kills were even pretty close there at the end, like 32 to 28, something around there. But CleanUpCrew, they're going into advance in the Xbox qualifiers.
So they move on to the semi-finals now. As you can see, Team Rival and Barrage, CleanUpCrew and Battalion Esports. I believe we'll be bringing you up next, Rival versus Barrage from the other half of the semi-finals. But already in this qualifiers for the Console Pro League, there's plenty of action that are going on in here. There's some good levels of plays, but there's also plenty of things to improve on going forward.
There's definitely a lot to improve on, especially understanding your compositions. Early, it really seemed like both teams didn't know what to do. There was a lot of missed abilities. CobbY specifically missing a lot of those charge prays. Really needs to focus on getting his mechanical skill a little bit stronger heading into the next couple weeks.
Well, coming up next, we will have Rival versus Barrage, and it does contain members of Aware Gaming on both sides. The team from Europe that ended up going to the World Championships for the Invitational there. We'll be back after this short break with all that info about who's playing on the teams and find out who moves on to the finals.